conspiracy.
what's what's the double O mean at the end
Huh?
of LMAO?
I don't know. Laugh my ass off.
Laughing my ass off.
Are we on?
Yeah.
Testing. Are we on?
For real this time?
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, Twan. Hey, whoever else is watching this, welcome to Breakfast Hour Podcast. Today episode is episode 6, and as you can tell by our fancy hat, we're going to be talking about some conspiracy shit, conspiracy theory. This is going to be a very interesting topic for me because I personally am into this shit. I don't know much about you, Casey, so you can tell us your version of it. How do you see conspiracy from your point of view? I don't know if that even makes sense, but yeah.
Well, I have my own I'll bring up in a little bit.
Okay, cool.
But first of all, let's talk about our fashion accessory for the day.
So in theory,
this is Mean Mon Stylings right here. So why don't you tell us the story behind the
I
behind
don't.
the hats?
So the whole hat thing, like, I don't understand why, like, anything that's like conspiracy theory and people who believe in it, they say they're tinfoil hat conspiracy bullshit. But that
Even I know why.
no, I understand the reason behind it, like government or whoever alien can't track your mind and read what you're thinking. But like, it didn't came out until like the movie, that M. Night Shyamalan movie, Sign, right? That kind of brought it to the mainstream because they actually have that in the movie.
Maybe. I don't know. I
Alright.
thought it had been around for a lot longer than that.
I don't know. But anyways, I look dope as shit, like a big ass giant motherfucking kiss candy. This guy just looked like a weird gay sailor or something.
Well, you made the hat, so what's that say
No,
about you?
it's actually pretty gangster. It's like,
it's kind of like a beret. It's
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like a French style one.
So, hey, Twan, sorry, we're just kind of bullshitting at the moment. Just kind of wait a little until people get in, if more people are getting in.
I think we've set a record for the first 10 minutes.
Oh, wow, we have
We
7
already have
watching.
7 people.
Let's see.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So 4! Okay.
Wow.
All right, so let's get to the topic then, since, there's 7 people watching. As you can see, Breakfast Hour Podcast right here. We're going to do the same scenario as last week, where we're just going to go with the picture, and then we'll talk about the topic of that picture.
Did you recycle some of the ones from last week?
No, I did not, because I didn't make this. That guy did. So let's go to our first topic. Crop circle. So this is, out of the list, I'd say this is one of the more mundane one.
Are these real crop circles?
Yeah, these are real. These are legit crop circles. Like,
They're still happening right now.
yeah, so that one, like this thing right here, people like mathematician and all those smart ass people who read numbers, it actually says something in here. And I don't remember what it says, but it's pretty cool. So the mystery behind crop circle is we don't know how it's created, right? That's the mystery. Like, yes, there's 2 douchebag with their plank or whatever, like
Right.
this, doing that bullshit. But, like, it's worldwide phenomenon, though. You mean to tell me, like, that guy go around, those guys go around everywhere and do it? I mean, there's also copycatters, but still, the amount of time, like, and the radiation within it, it's the time that it take for somebody to make this would be, a whole night, if not more, right? But these are appearing, like, left and right, like, out of nowhere. They just appear.
They
And-
usually appear in a couple hours.
Yeah, they appear in a couple hours, and there is radiation tested, like people on the field that goes in there and tests with their radiator, whatever the fuck that's called. It's actually pretty decent radiation compared to all its surrounding. So it's
What makes it a conspiracy is that even though it happens everywhere and so often, but not many people know or talk about it or care about it.
right.
But the thing is, they don't try to debunk it either. Like you don't
Like-
see like majority of news stations come out and say that
Right.
it's a bunch of fakes, artists
Yeah.
drawing on the ground.
So you mean to tell me, like, a couple douchebag did this intricate design? I mean, look at the sharpness of that. You can't do that with a plank. And the way it's bent and the way it's fold, it's not just like it's cut. It's like it's fold. Like the weed itself is fold.
Right, like something landed on it.
Yeah. So we don't know if it's a UFO. We don't know if it's like a interdimensional being trying to contact us through sign and shit. I mean, look at that shit. That's pretty crazy.
That one, my mom used to have these cookie make cutter
Right,
things that
right.
and that looks exactly like
Right.
a cookie cutter.
And see, that's the thing. It could be a giant who's in another dimension, and he's
Wouldn't
like,
there be footprints if there's a giant?
no, because he's in another dimension.
So
He's just like, yeah, he's just like taking a cookie cutter thing. And he's just like, let's see what these idiot humans think of this. Bam, put that motherfucker in there, and then
now we're talking about it. So who are the idiot humans?
well, at least we're bringing it to the people out there because crop circle it's one of the most strange one. Well, it's strange because there's still no debunking on most of these. Like nobody comes up and say I did it.
Where are they found?
England, India,
almost
everywhere. It's like a worldwide phenomenon now.
Some in America.
Yeah, there's some in America too.
Where do you remember where the original ones? Like,
Well,
from back in the
I
day.
don't even remember
I don't-
there was ever an original.
yeah, I mean, once it came to be, it's just like popping up all over the place.
We start noticing them when we have an aerial view.
Yeah, yeah, right. You can't like. That's another thing too. It's like as you were mentioning with the footprint and stuff. Like most of these, there's like no footprint of people coming in or out. I mean, like there's these farmer line thing that
There are
technically
big-
you
there are
can
big
walk.
crop circles though, but those ones are not perfect.
And they're
Right.
intricate.
These are like a lot more intricate. So that's
Well,
crop circle.
What about the the Mayan ruins down in like Peru and stuff where they made the shapes of animals and stuff that you can only see from way up?
Yeah, exactly. But see, that's the thing.
Yeah.
What are those signed for if it's not for people? Because you have to be on the top in the sky to see it. So obviously, and this was back then.
Supposedly there's no airship back.
Right, there's no
Right.
airship back then. Well, technically, no airship back then that we know of, but obviously somebody's doing something to show people from the sky of all this stuff. And Tuan said, dude, to make a perfect circle, that's hard, which it is. Like, a jackass can't even draw a perfect circle with his own hand, let alone, like, take a wooden plank and just go around and do this. So, like, to all the skeptics out there, prove me wrong. Go out there, go to your fucking yard and do it with those stupid plank and see what design you can come up with. I bet you it looks like a piece of shit and it's not going to be intricate like this at all. So that's...
So if the Mayans did their animal
Mhm.
things, right, then wouldn't it be safe to say that thousands of years later technology has come along to where we could do something like this?
Yeah, that's fair. But again, like, what's the purpose of it? Just like back then. You
Just
really
to
think
freak
about
out
it.
people like us? Or
Well-
you? Not me. I'm not including this net job stuff.
Well, no, that's a good point that you said, though, because, like, if they were to do it back then, and they were capable of doing it back then, but let's say if that was them doing it, then what was the purpose of them doing it if you could only see it from the sky? You can't see it on land. Like,
Right.
if you're just standing there, you wouldn't know how the shape looked like. So obviously it's made for something,
Mm-hmm.
so we don't know. So that's the conspiracy. It's the mystery of why it's created. So yeah, crop circle.
All right.
Good?
Yeah.
Good start.
Good start.
All right, next. Chemtrails. I love this shit.
Every day it's
Look
posted on
at
Facebook.
look at these two guys. What do you think of this humidity is up there? Wait,
I don't
you
know.
read that shit. Okay, let's start over.
You
I'll
read this
guy.
side since it's easy.
All right,
All right.
okay.
What do you think the humidity is up there?
I don't know.
How about the temperature?
I don't know.
Altitude?
I don't know.
Chemtrails?
Definitely.
Those bastards!
That's awesome. So chemtrail, and these are like legit pictures. Like you saw me post the other day when it was clear up in the sky, and see like all this. How is that normal? I remember as a kid I used to fly kites because back then kids actually fly kites, and there was nothing like this. I mean,
There's probably a
the
lot more
sky
traffic
doesn't look
than
like
there
that.
was.
The sky does not look like. And Mr. T said, "I pity the fool who finds this normal," which is true. Okay, so the difference between contrail and chemtrail. Contrail, trail extended for feet, lasts for seconds. So it dissipated.
So like in the water, like
Right.
when you like it's a ripple that
right.
goes away. Okay.
The thing with chemtrail, it doesn't dissipate it. It lingers for hours and then it spreads. So it started off with a line and then it spread like that. So it's
before, during,
so yeah, look at the before and during after here. So you got before clear, after you got a streak of line, or during you got a streak of line, and then after it just looks
all
like
cloudy.
weird cloudy shit. So yeah, the difference at the picture at the bottom there, it shows you the difference between the contrail and the chemtrail. So contrail is basically
Condensation trail.
the condensation trail. It's like if it's something that's so cold up there and you add heat element to it, it causes kind of like that.
So contrails you don't have a problem with.
I don't have a problem
That's
because
just
that's
normal.
normal.
It's atmosphere.
It's like if you're taking a shower.
Your breath when you're
yeah.
breathing in the cold.
Okay, it's so
Right.
so. If you're taking a shower, a warm shower in a cold day, right? Like it gets all foggy and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like it goes away after a while. It doesn't follow you. It doesn't linger you around with you every day. You're like, hey, that's like my asshole. It's just leaving a trail and it's still there. I go around, I still see my asshole. But contrail doesn't do that. But chemtrail does that. And like, so that's my pictures of it.
Mr. Science Guy, talk to us about the geoengineering methods up
Okay,
there in the corner. That
so-
looks. This is way more technical than anything we've ever had on the
Right.
show before.
So that geoengineering method, that's actually from a legit website, right? Do you even know what geoengineering is?
Why don't you tell us?
Okay, I'm not the perfect guy to tell you that.
It's engineering the atmosphere.
It's changing the atmosphere to block off the sun harmful UV radiation.
There you go. So repeat that to the viewers because I totally forgot all about that.
Why is the sun harmful all of a sudden?
Because the ozone layer's
Exactly.
going to shit.
Why is the ozone layer going to shit?
Because of
Because of
fossil
rocket.
fuels and
Fossil
all
fuels,
that.
what?
Destroying the ozone layer.
Anyway,
Okay,
the geoengineering can also change temperatures.
right. In geoengineering, a few years
so for
back,
global warming.
a few years back, like when people were talking about these chemtrails and like the normal people are saying, "Oh, that's just contrail. Don't worry about it." Now they're coming out and saying, "No, it's geoengineering." And now people's like, "Yeah, I knew it's always a chemical thing." So I say bullshit to that because first of all, you guys rejected the idea from the beginning, and then now like scientific proof comes out and then these companies are saying, yeah, we're spraying shit in the air because the government pay us to, because, you know, to help prevent the global warming stuff. And now everybody's jumping on board with it and saying, yeah, that's cool. And that's the shit I don't like.
But there's a problem, though.
Right.
Because 90% of the people, maybe somewhere around there, still don't know what geoengineering is, or even know what a chemtrail is.
Right. If I were to
Despite
just
them coming out forward.
If I were just to talk to normal people about, hey, you know what geoengineering is? Most people wouldn't have a clue. But there is a website, a government website. Just go read it.
There's also patent.
It's patent. It's a patent technology.
And some say it's for weather manipulation.
Right. So that's a chemtrail up close. That's how it would look like. They add these thing to the back of or to the side of the airplane, and they project it out. Like,
Right.
But the thing is, they never come out and tell us what's in here. Like, they're not going to tell you what's in there.
That's where the conspiracy.
Like, that's where the conspiracy starts. It's like,
no, the conspiracy is what's in it, and will it be harmful to humans?
right. Has it been tested? Why is the FDA approving all this? Why is the government approving all this? And again, it goes back to like carbon
Monoxide?
You're right. That's the thing that's causing global warming and shit, right? But plants breathe that shit, and plants produce, and then in return give us oxygen. So if that shit is normal, then why all of a sudden, like, you mean to tell me human, like, the Earth has been here for thousands and thousands of years or millions of years. I don't, fucking how old is the Earth? I don't even know, but that's another conspiracy by itself. But
another thing is, if it is because global warming, right?
Right.
And it's caused by us.
Right.
So we're starting to use more and more cars and power and all these stuff. So why is Mars and everywhere else warm as well?
exactly,
Are
there's a
humans-
trend
are
now.
humans driving cars there as well.
NASA said the ice cap on Mars is
Melting, yeah.
by 50%.
Yeah, so I don't think it's a
It contradicts-
phenomenon created by a human, like the whole global warming thing. I think is happening everywhere, and because it's constantly the universe, if the universe is as what they say, is moving all the time, shit changes. So you can't mean to tell me like,
But so the question is, why would they lie to us about the global warming?
Right.
They make money out of it.
exactly,
Just like everything else.
carbon taxing, bam,
And who's the one making money? Exactly.
not us. And all you people who stand with the government and stand with the normal people and say, oh, those guys are just nut tinfoil bullshit mumbo jumbo. What pisses me off is like, if this shit affects their kids, they're like, oh, well, nobody told me about it. Well, I'm telling you right now, so yeah, there's nothing you can do about it. You're fucked. That's chemtrail in a nutshell. Like, what is it? The mystery of why stuff is in the air. Look.
The reason why they came out with the whole geoengineering, the reason why they came to the public about it, is because the public keep demanding to know
What is spraying.
What is being sprayed in the sky.
Right.
Because they don't believe in the contrail thing anymore.
Right. People aren't that stupid, beside Ryan Hill, because he still thinks it's a fucking contrail. Who the hell think it's still a contrail? Pisses me off.
Alright.
So, okay, so that's that. Next. GMO. This shit we know about.
Yeah. Monsanto and all that shit.
So, I've been talking about all the other stuff. I know you know certain things about this. I want to hear your take on it first. So, you can go ahead and tell the audience what you think about GMO and Monsanto and what they've been doing and shit.
Well, I know, well, I think I know, because do any of us really know anything about this stuff? Monsanto's when I lived in Missouri for a little while, and that's when they were just getting started.
Oh, nice.
And basically what they're doing is they're bioengineering all the food, taking the nutrients out of it. It's not nearly as good, and it's all chemical-based.
Mm-hmm.
And they're forcing out all
The natural farmer.
the farmers that were have been supplying our country with grain and corn and everything for a really long time. And it's really screwed up. What they do is if one single kernel of a Monsanto product, seed, they have lawyers and people that go around and they search through all the fields around Monsanto, and if any of them have even one single grain, they can sue them, and they go after them, and the big corporation has way more money than little mom and dad farm, and they force them out of business, take over their land, and move on. And the GMO stuff is just, it's kind of like with the chemtrails, like we were talking about. Nobody knows what it really does. It's a cheaper, faster way to make stuff, but it's just not natural. So you're putting God knows
unnatural
what
stuff,
into your body.
basically chemicals, pretty much to sum it up. And GMO stands for genetically modified organism, right?
Right.
Oh shit, I got it right.
Say no to MSG. Yeah, that's also not a very good thing.
Breaking news.
What's that say?
Breaking news: Alien refused to do crop circle in GMO fields. Just too risky.
Who's JC? This is the person that said it. It says JC.
Oh, no.
Jesus Christ said that, everybody.
Jesus Christ
Direct quote.
That's awesome. No, the thing and the thing with genetically modified organism, GMO, Monsanto, and all that. Monsanto, they started off as a chemical company where they're the one that's doing all the pesticide stuff and all the Agent Orange stuff. So it's a chemical company that became like
It's also protected.
Here's where the conspiracy is. So people starting to come out and say they get sick and all that stuff while eating these things. So they try to file a lawsuit at Monsanto. But the thing is, how you were saying they have money and they can win and all that. But the people were starting to win, or were starting to get a ground on them. Until Obama came in and signed the Monsanto Protection Act.
Those who don't know, Obama signed the GMO or Monsanto Protection Acts, meaning you can't sue them. You can't sue Monsanto. Why would a big corporate company needs that shit to protect them?
It's because
it was getting out of hand. They were losing. So the government obviously is under their paycheck.
But why are they so interested in shoving these down our throat?
Right.
To the point where they're willing to protect them.
Right. These guys. So we don't know. We just know that it's unhealthy for you. Also the same as water or fluoride. And this is a topic like you and I have been talking about all the time with water and fluoride. Like, I'm not going to mention any name because I mentioned it earlier. But
would that be Ryan Hill?
Yeah. Okay. So like he's always like, I don't know.
I want him to show up.
I want him to show up and talk too, but he's never on because he doesn't care anymore. He lives straight down the street though.
Is she hot?
No, she's not hot. So that's how you look like.
That's where you draw the line.
That's just. I don't know. I haven't seen her bottom side, so I can't say.
Well, so you're cool with like crazy moldy face, green hair.
You see that baby in
the zombie?
Yep.
The zombie
baby
kids
in the corn on top.
Yeah.
Because words on it that some of the genetic stuff has human
is
DNA.
human DNA.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, that's just rumors or words, but yeah,
So-
it's going around.
So the water and fluoride thing doesn't make a whole lick of sense to me. Like they've been saying like fluoride is good for you to drink so that it whitens your teeth and shit. Well, if you look at rat poisoning or toothpaste, it says fluoride. Do not swallow it. Right. Get with the doctor. Call an emergency number right now. So if that's the case, then why is it that you can drink it? So you can't swallow it, but you can drink it in your water, and that's perfectly fine by the citizen of the world in the United States, and you're okay with it? Like, you know, the dude before, like I mentioned, like he was on the side of, yeah, fluoride is good for you, but when we present that to him and we stated that, okay, go eat your freaking toothpaste, and he's like, oh, I guess it's not that good for you. And then lately, he's been saying, yeah, fluoride is not good for you. Well, yeah, like...
So you're turning him to your side?
I'm not turning him to my side. I'm stating the fact. It's not even the fact. It's just, look at one thing telling you not to eat, and then now you want to drink it? It doesn't make sense. Like,
how much you want to bet that pretty soon there's a Mandela effect where it doesn't
say that? Right. That would be crazy. They could probably do that, too. So, yeah, GMO and Monsanto and all this chemical stuff, you might not know, but, like, you know, your sugar substance, what is it? Aspartame?
Oh,
anything that's in sugar.
Fake
sugar. That shit is, like...
causes cancer
in
rats.
But you know what that is? That's basically, to put it in layman's term, aka stupid ass people term, it means
people that just don't know.
Yeah. It's bacteria shit, basically. They found when they were using these agents to kill like crops and stuff, they found these agents on the side, like it's just it's a residue of it, and then for whatever reason they said, oh, you know what, this is kind of sweet, let's add some stuff to it and sell it, and then because it's a waste product that they can use to market, so why not market it?
Right.
So they market it as sugar-free shit. And so now if you go look at your gum and stuff, it's all, even like breath mint nowadays, it's all aspartame. Like, yeah, it's crazy.
Okay, let's do one of mine.
Okay.
Let's take a break.
All right.
How many do you have?
12.
12, okay. So we're going to go to my first one. These are the top 10
Damn, this hat is hot, yo.
Yeah, I know. Making me sweat. All right. Did you guys know that Peter Parker was actually in Iron Man 2?
Which Peter Parker?
Peter Parker. The little boy that
has
the glove.
Yeah, I knew that.
There's a theory and a conspiracy theory going out there that even though Marvel didn't have the rights to Spider-Man yet, that little guy was Peter Parker. So that's kind of a cool thing. The full thing. After watching Civil War, it's very clear that Peter Parker is Tony Stark's #1 fan. Tony was easily able to convince Peter to join his side, despite the fact that they barely knew each other. What if this wasn't the first time Peter met Tony? According to a fan theory, Peter made his first appearance in the MCU when he was only 10 years old. And then, the boy
there you go.
In Iron Man 2 does that. So
that makes sense.
Yeah. That's
if you like add up the age, it makes sense.
That makes sense because you know how Peter and Tony, he look up to him and all that stuff.
Yeah, for some weird reason.
Continue. All right. You got more?
No. That was number 10 on my top 10.
That was pretty good.
Now we'll get back to the
Let's go back to the nut job. I don't see anybody commenting. Are you guys not interested, or is your mind already blown and you're just like, fuck, I need to go take a shit?
What?
They went and looked for the hat.
Yeah, they went and looked for the hat. Yeah. Alright. Next one. Everybody's favorite, aliens. I know this is kind of a boring topic for most people, but it's pretty in-depth. There's all sorts of... The alien conspiracy, there's all sorts, and it's crazy.
Is that a reptilian?
Yeah.
I thought you said we weren't going to talk about it last week.
We're not going to talk about the reptilian. We're going to talk about all the other ones.
These are all the known race.
These are... Well, each of these race, they branches out into... So, okay, yeah. So this one is a hybrid.
Before you get to the hybrid, start from the start. So that's the tall gray on the left.
The tall gray on the left.
So that's your standard, your traditional alien.
That's not standard.
That's not the standard. This the
this
tall
one is
gray.
the one that's responsible for at least the majority of scary encounter.
Right.
Okay.
That people talk about, like how abduction.
Right.
Stuff.
Yep.
So they're usually surrounded by those type.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And the short ones are
short gray.
pretty much work with the government.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
According to the story.
According to the story.
So the storyline goes something like this: like the short gray approach.
They didn't approach. It was during Area 51.
Okay.
One of their ship crashed.
Okay.
So
Damn, my storyline sucked.
It was ET, so it was the short one, or
Right.
EB is what they call it.
They made a deal with the government by saying
ED. They named the
EV.
first. Oh,
No,
ED.
no, EB.
E-
Oh, EB. Okay.
wait.
So these are the guys that crashed in Area 51 and tried to help us.
So in 1947 they crashed. Because,
They crashed.
all that crazy.
It's Roswell.
Yeah,
Roswell, right? And
1947.
they made a deal with the government, and they said we'll give you.
It's not that they made a deal, but the rest of them, not the one that crashed, they're like pretty much taken
Right.
dead. But yeah, the rest of the.
So basically, they hold us. They got us by the balls after our government signed that treaty.
The deal was that they came and said that since our ship crashed, you got our technology, but we can give you more
Mhm.
if you make a deal with us.
Right.
Right. And what's the deal?
The deal was so that they can experiment on humans.
There you go.
They need human parts to
So
experiment.
the story with the gray. Is
They're
that
a dying race. They don't have like
They can't reproduce.
they can't reproduce. They're pretty much genetically enhanced humanoid. Like they don't have a soul, and they want to understand how the human continue to live. So that's why they made a deal with the government. The government's like, that's fine. You give us the technology, our people is fuck, we're good.
Right.
But then the deal came through, and then that's how the clone came out.
But yeah,
So it leads up to the clone.
Between human and the small group.
That one?
right.
The idea
The
was-
hybrid.
The idea was that they want to create a superior race, not only to continue their family line, but to rule this world going forward.
Right. Because why wouldn't they? Because humanity is stupid.
Right.
Um,
Isn't that just a Final Fantasy character down there in the corner?
no, that's
That's just a
it's just
cosplay
a
chick
cosplay
cosplay.
chick.
or something.
But-
So she's an alien?
So, well, no, you see these guys right
It's
here?
a
Yeah.
Nordic.
The Nordic, like
Like from-
Hitler.
Right?
Hitler, what does he want? Like, what was the whole point of Hitler? Like,
Wanted
what does
the
he want?
Aryan race to
Right,
be
right.
supreme,
He was
right.
inspired by that.
He was inspired by that. They're actually a race of intelligence being. They look like human, except for they're taller. Their skin is wider than ours,
It's not
or
that they look like
Past
human.
office.
right.
It's not that they look like human. It's that we look like them.
Okay.
Because the conspiracy is that we were created by their kind, so we look like them. That's why model after their image.
Right.
That stuff.
So okay, that's a conspiracy in itself. So in the history book, it talks about the Aryan race and stuff. How come people never question that in school? Like, what is the Aryan race? So what is the Aryan race?
Blonde hair, blue eyed.
Yeah.
Okay,
White,
but
pasty
what
white
is
people.
that? Well, how did that came to be? Like, why is Hitler so obsessed with that? Exactly, because kids are stupid. They're not supposed to ask
Because
questions.
he was a psycho, mass murderer. Like, does
Hey,
there need to be a reason? Why are we wearing foil hats?
mass murder IQ are usually higher than the normal average people. That's also a fact. Go read.
Nut job is usually more intelligent than
Crazy
average
ass people.
people, too,
Yeah,
yeah.
Fuck you, average people. Just
So
my
there
ass.
you go. And then you got the insectoid. On
The
back,
insectoid.
which is an insect type creature. That movie was inspired by District 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were inspired by that. So that creature itself is as old as the Grey and the Talls and the Reptilian. But
The conspiracy between the alien is
the conspiracy here is that the Reptilian is stronger than all of those combined and is their leader.
they don't take action.
And they don't take action. They pull the strings.
They pull the string. They control most of these assholes.
But the difference is the Nordic are the only one that's challenging them because the Nordic's on the human side.
Right. Right.
Well, that's why they look.
And what's stupid is
Right.
the Nordic approach the U.S. government and say, we want to make a deal with you to help you out to make your bring peace and bring technology to humanity, free energy, free everything, right?
Right.
Yeah, free everything, right? And the government's like, fuck that, we're not making money off this shit. So
Right.
so they kicked these guys away, and then these guys came in and like, we got technology. They're like, fuck. Is that a carrot in front of me? I'm taking it. So, yeah, the thing with the alien conspiracy is, I don't know, to me it's not even a conspiracy because it's like such a big universe, if the universe is as big as they say it is. I don't understand why people still think we're the only schmucks that's like in this universe. I don't get it.
We're actually a young species.
Right, we're so stupid.
By any agreement, we're pretty young. I mean, anyone.
We're so stupid. We still shit in the toilet and flush it down the toilet into a sewage drain. What the fuck is that? You mean to tell me you can create a phone that's this small and like whatever in the last 10 years, but you can't create a better toilet system? Our money needs to be invested in toilet, and shit more than war. Fuck that shit. Shit is more important.
No, the problem is like.
What's the problem?
There's toilet technology out there,
right?
That like it destroys the
stuff.
It
just disintegrates it. Yeah, right? Vaporize it. Yeah, they use it in Alaska.
It's hella expensive.
Why is it expensive?
Just like there's cars out there that can get 100 miles to the gallon, hybrid cars that are just as powerful, but then the government does. Then
there you go.
People don't make money.
Fuck you. And people's down with that. They're like, it is what it is. And don't come and complain to me about it is what it is.
It is what it is.
All right, next.
All right.
So UFO and aliens, two completely different things, because UFO, we don't know.
That's a giant hot dog.
It's called cigar shape, dog. We don't know what's in there, right? We don't know who the pilots are. It could be government-based technology. It could be a hybrid government-alien technology. You know, if that deal go through, obviously our government
could be high-end Oscar Mayer Wiener
right,
technology.
Right, that's spelled Mayer now.
Mayer. All right, sorry, Oscar Mayer. I said John Mayer.
The interesting thing about UFO is that it's unlike aliens. UFOs is actually confirmed. That's the thing.
We see it. Yeah. People see it in the
see
sky.
Millions of eyewitnesses.
All the sightings can be debunked except for 6%. 6% of the UFO sighting is still unexplained.
6% is still
science, according to Michio Kaku.
Remember a couple of months back, the whole Pentagon thing? They came out publicly with this.
Were you following that at all?
No.
So, last couple months is pretty crazy in the whole UFO phenomenon thing. Like, an ex-Pentagon guy snuck. Yeah, he took some leaked photo from the Pentagon itself, and he leaked it out on the news. It's like mainstream news, like CNN, everywhere picked it up. And they keep it hush hush though, but like.
Here's the thing though, he is an ex-Pentagon guy.
Right.
He brought all these information out, and he said that the Pentagon has been using money to study this whole UFO phenomenon.
Our money, our tax money.
So, but here's the interesting part. He could have just been some guy who's a fraud, because he's an ex-Pentagon.
Right.
The Pentagon themselves didn't come out and debunk.
They didn't debunk.
They allow him to have free speech about this whole UFO.
It's kind of weird.
Which makes you think maybe it might not be true, because usually they silence people, right?
Right.
Right, but. Or they're using that guy as a mouthpiece to spread the
agenda.
Information. Maybe they wanted to leak out.
Yeah, slowly to get into the public view, so they can.
That black and white picture that was drawn even during samurai era.
Yeah, so.
But here's the thing: it looks like a UFO, right?
Yeah.
But the description, it was written in Japanese by the guy who drew it, and he said that is a metallic craft from the sky. So with the description and the picture, that says that clearly the event is about a UFO.
And you have old paintings.
And then you have old paintings, religious painting.
That guy down there is clearly looking up.
I mean, what is this? This painting is pretty popular, and there's always that smear in the back. You zoom in on it, it sure does look like a UFO to me. Yeah. So the painter probably saw some shit in the background. He's like, hey, I'm going to put this in there.
It's not a smear because that guy's looking up at it.
That's true. If you look, there's this guy looking up at it. Mm-hmm. And he's in the background looking up at it. So it's, I guess you can interpret it as God's light or whatever, but I don't know, man. That's a UFO.
Kind of looks like more like God's turd than God's light right there.
Yeah, and then here's just a few more examples.
So that kind of looks like the sun and the moon.
What's that? This one?
Yeah, that one looks like the sun. That one looks like the moon.
Again,
representation of it.
It's possible, but why
it's possible.
Mechanic looking?
But yeah, I mean, there's a control panel right here. You can't debunk that. I mean, you can say that's maybe it's just a glare, a light streak or whatever, but it looks like a control panel.
You mean that little tiny star thing?
Yeah, this thing in front.
Okay.
Right here.
Well, isn't that people in there?
That's people in there pushing buttons.
Yeah, but in the Romans times too, there was a god that drew the sun across in a chariot, and same with the moon.
Again.
What inspired them?
UFOs, perhaps? So UFO, unidentified flying object.
Giant flying wieners, perhaps?
It always goes back to the...
I know,
they're going to get you.
No.
They're going to get you. The government's going to get you.
All right, we're better.
All right, next.
What?
Oh,
okay, the
shit.
dark web's not a conspiracy.
It is a conspiracy because how many people know about the dark web before the Mr. Robot show came up? Most average people don't know about the dark web.
The conspiracy is 90%.
My boss don't know what the dark web is, and my boss make a shit ton of money than me. That's just saying how many douchebags out there in the world don't know about dark web.
The surface web.
So you see that 96%.
All right, so
96% of content on the web is the deep web.
So let's take a little picture right here. So the surface. That's what you use daily, right? The surface web.
That's where this live stream is currently.
Yeah, so the live stream is currently in the surface web because we're not as cool as Mr. Robot.
Right.
So Yahoo, Google, your regular search engine and all that stuff. And that's just the tip of that. Is this an iceberg? Okay, that's the tip. So that's the term.
It's just the tip, It's just the tip.
It's the tip of the D. So we're in the tip, and then you go lower. It's the deep web. So this is a good comparison because just oh, okay. So
we're still on UFO. Or wait, no, mine's just not. Mine's old. Never mind. Go ahead.
Okay, so Tuan said this shit is real. Yes, Tuan, this shit is real. So the surface web. It's just the little corner of the internet, and that's what everybody uses on a day-to-day life. But look how enormous the deep web is compared to the surface. It's 90% of content on the web is estimated in the deep web and the dark web. So what? The surface is only 4%. Shit, I can do math. I'm Asian, bitch. That's how I roll. I know how to do math.
Except you said 90%.
96%.
There you go. Go ahead with the Asian goodness.
So the Asian goodness is I can do math. I just can't speak it right. Because I'm an Asian, $1.99, ching chong, sucky sucky.
So on the right side, as you can see, there are 5 levels.
Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to go there. Let's go back to the surface web. All right, no, we're in the deep web now. So 90%.
We're in the D something.
96% content on the web, estimated. The deep web, academic. Can you read that, man? I don't even know.
Academic databases.
Right.
So where all your school records are kept. Medical records, financial records, legal documents, some scientific reports, some government reports, subscription-only information, some organization-specific repositories.
Right. So that's a lot of shit in the deep web. And, we don't know that shit. And then the dark web.
We don't know that shit.
No,
we don't.
You can go look it up.
No, but the problem is the conspiracy with the dark web is you don't know what goes on in there. You know what could be in there, but you don't know what actually goes on in there. And to get in, you can't just access through Google.
Right, because that's the surface web. You have to go to a specific.
It's all about codings and knowing.
Yeah, and I'm dumb as shit. I'm not even on the surface web. I'm in the sky web.
And that's just the deep web. And then there's
the light web.
And then the dark web, you gotta use Tor, Tor, the
torrents and all that.
It's a browser. It's a bootleg browser. That's the only way you can access to the dark web. And this is where it gets kind of fucked up. This is where political protests and shit goes in there. Drug trafficking and others, illegal activity. It's all in there, and it's really hard to trace. Right, you can buy anything there. And they also have I don't know if the Red Room is true. You can watch
snuff films.
Yeah, snuff film. Not only that, you can be a part of it. You can say, "Hey, I want that stupid bitch eye to be gouged out and make her eat her own eyeballs." You can do that. You just put in the money. What's the money system?
Bitcoin,
cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, all that shit. That's what they use in there because it can't be tracked. So yeah, you can do all that, and you can also hire. I heard you can also hire assassins to take out people for you, politically, or just if you don't like a guy, you can just say, you know what, I have some extra cash lying around in my back pocket. Boom, push a button. The guy go find the dude. Or her, I'm not racist or sexist, and then motherfucker get killed.
Are you sure? Because 5 minutes ago you sounded pretty racist.
I'm Asian, so I get away with it. So the right side. Let's look at the right side. So what is this level?
Level S.
Level S.
ClearNet. It's for social network, search engine, and wiki, and email. Common internet usage. Level 1 is surface web.
Okay.
So
wow.
Level 1, level 2 is a
So
thing that we can all go.
so level S is just like the filler version.
That's where you live.
That's
you
where I live. I live in
ClearNet.
level S. So level 1, that's like your blog, essay, temp, email. Yeah. So 1 and 2 is pretty much what you're doing right now when you're watching porn.
The Bergy Web. Not really, because now.
Level 2 is the Bergy Web. Ad pops up, Google lock results, torrent. Yeah. P2P. That's awesome. I used that back in the days to download some bootleg stuff.
Peer
No,
to
I
peer.
don't.
What?
I would never go in there and do any
You
of
never
this stuff.
did any of that?
Nope.
You never did BearShare or web
I'm not
caller?
supposed to let the government know they're watching.
Dude, it doesn't matter. Okay, you want to talk about some conspiracy shit? All right. So
I don't want the government to track me down. I'm innocent as a fly. Because fly eat shit and then they die right after, so that's pretty innocent. And they're gone.
We have I see that Alexa is on.
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
So we have an Alexa thing in our house, right? The Spot and then the big whatever they're called. So everything's connected. Like we'll say something and she's always listening.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like we'll just talk about a random topic.
Right.
And then Facebook starts randomly putting ads for what we were talking about just in our house with nothing on. All of a sudden those ads start showing up on Facebook.
Yeah.
And what really creeped me out is I've got a lot of phone numbers from like old jobs and stuff like that in my phone.
Yeah.
You know how Facebook suggests friends? One day there were 3 people that I had never talked to or I don't even think had used their phone number, but their phone was in my phone.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, you should be friends with this person.
Yeah, that's how they do it. They the whole algorithm thing. So level 3, the deep web.
That's a conspiracy.
That is a conspiracy. That itself is part of this whole network. Level 3 is the deep web. Proxy service required after this point. You need all that shit.
Level 4 is the dark net.
Level 4 is the dark net. And then there's level 4B. Wow, closed shell system required after this point. Level 4B is the private web where you do hyper intelligent bots, FBI, mid-classified archive, geometric, algorithmic research, particle beam weapons.
You're tired of reading.
Supercomputing.
You don't have to read
Oh man, that's insane shit. And then level 5 is the
final boss.
the Mariana's
web.
Yes, Mariana's web.
Who's Mariana?
Yeah, who is she?
That's the conspiracy. Level 5 is the conspiracy because not many people can go there.
Also known as the final boss of the internet. Stay away, please. Curiosity killed the cat. The day you get here is the day you turn into Chuck Norris. There you go. Level 5. So yeah, this is cool because I didn't know what the dark web and the deep web was until a couple years back when I saw some stuff on YouTube about it. They show they weren't showing videos from it, but they showing these are the example of type of video that will be in the deep web if you're interested. So then I learned more about it, and then Mr. Robot came out and everybody knew about it now. Everybody's like, yeah, it's always been there. No, you didn't know that. Don't act like you freaking know that. So yeah, that's interesting. There's some conspiracy shit in there because what's the point of following rules anymore? Because if you can get access to here, you can do so much damage and people doesn't even know.
The new whatever it was that the president passed, the net neutrality or whatever, trying to make it a lot harder to do a lot of stuff.
Right. And why is people so against about it?
Because, well, the government is because they want to control.
Right.
They want control.
Right. But at the same time, there's people on that side too, and they're like, yeah, don't do that, do this.
Right.
Stupid.
It's all about power and control and money.
Yep. Next.
Oh my god.
You know this is going to be on there. So the flat earth theory. It's actually pretty interesting.
You guys have some celebrities on your side.
Yeah, yeah. So, well, see, that's the thing. That's the thing without...
B.O.B.
Bob, yeah.
He's all into this.
Yeah, he doesn't even do music anymore.
So the way
this thing is pretty interesting.
Here's how it goes. So, let's say Earth is a flat disk, right?
Right.
With ice surrounding it, like an ice wall.
Yep.
That's why you can't get out. But here's the interesting part. If you look at that flat map, you can still fly an airplane the same way we do today.
Right.
Look at it. Look at the continent. Because remember, things fly in circle. But from your perspective, it's just going straight.
I mean, it can still work the same way.
And no matter where you go, you can't get past Antarctica. So It would be perfect while it's...
Well, Antarctica is flag, no flag.
No, yeah, why is there... What is it?
53 nation treaty, Antarctica treaty, surround the whole place and won't let you go.
Right. Have you ever heard where 50-something countries sign a treaty? Why would they sign a treaty? Fucking the government can't even like function within their own government system, but yet somehow a bunch of jackasses sign together and say, no motherfucker, you can't go there. We shoot your ass if you go there. And people don't question this shit. That shit pissed me the fuck off, man. It irritates me just like, what is it?
Like sandpaper on your boat.
Yeah, exactly. Or... Yeah.
The flat Earth thing came back the argument came back in 2003.
During the
right.
same,
2013.
2013, right after 2012.
During the same time as Mandela effect.
Right.
That shit pops up as well.
The thing about this, like, when I first saw it, I was like, this is funny shit. Why would people believe in this? I went to school. They always show me videos of planets and circle and stuff until I dig more into YouTube. And they said most of those are just compilation video. So NASA never have a full... far away shot where it's just they said it's impossible. So everything you see is a compilation shot.
No, it's composite.
Composite, yeah. What those guys said.
So, anyways, here's the interesting part. So people said, well, we have more than one proof that the Earth is a ball or a sphere. We have like gajillion proof.
Right.
And then they said, example, we went to the moon and saw it. So the question is, did we go to the moon?
Right.
So
that's another. Yeah, that Chris brought that up.
And then there's another thing. If we did go to the moon, then why did NASA casually all of a sudden lost the original footage to the moon?
Right.
The tape.
And most people don't even know about that.
They lost the original. All we have of the moon landing is from YouTube and TV airing footage.
Yep.
The real live footage that NASA went and recorded has been lost.
Right. And like, you get the skeptic can say, well, we have proof because we have video. Okay, so then how come when my jackass record a UFO and say, hey, here's proof? They're like, video proof doesn't mean anything. It's just, you could CGI it. Well, the fucking same thing could be said about the round Earth. I'm just using your stupid ass logic against your stupid ass logic. So go take a shit.
No, hold on.
What does the Bible say about Earth?
What does the Bible say? I don't know, Casey. You...
What do you mean, about it being flat or not?
No, it says a circle, right?
What does it say? I don't remember much about the Bible.
If it's specific, I don't remember if it specifically says or not.
Basically, from some people' perspective, they said that it has like supposedly like an edges to the world. At least how ancient texts write it from most countries, and it says it has a firmament, which is like a shield thing, which we call the ozone layer.
Ozone layer.
But the shield thing is made of water, and there's water on top of it. So apparently, there's no space out there but water.
Well, the theory behind that is that it was water, but then the flood.
Yeah, right. But here's the interesting part. Something poked a hole up there, and the flood came through. Right, flood came through from up there. There's water up there, but the interesting part is that in China, there's a legend of that where the sky ripped, water poured through, and a god had to patch the sky. But this was predate the Bible, this story. But yet it shared that firmament legend.
Yeah, and so the constellation stuff that you see, I think this map is just rotating based off the firmament.
So the sky's dome with the stars, and it rotates along with the sun and the moon.
So all this is just to say whatever you can project in like a round Earth theory, you could also do the same in a flat Earth theory. It's not saying a flat Earth is real or not.
People argue like if the world is flat, then wouldn't we fall off?
Right.
We go like.
But have you ever been to everywhere?
Because the Earth is flat or
but it's protected by.
But it's circle.
It's circle. It's still a circle.
And Antarctica is a no-fly zone anyway.
So you can't go there. So you can't go to the edge of it.
Fall off even on a flat Earth.
But it gets crazier. Okay. So you see the ice shield on the left side. Surrounding the disc is an ice edge, right? The ice wall. So the question is it a wall that's blocking that ice when you get there, or does it expand further?
Yeah, we don't know that.
That's when the pocket Earth theory.
Pocket Earth theory.
This is a new one from the pocket Earth.
Pocket Earth theory.
This is saying that each world is a flat in a pocket of ice.
So it's a pocket of ice. So the ice is the connective tissue between all the different worlds.
So what if aliens
and UFO
came from those other pockets?
Right. They don't have to travel far. They're just like, I'm just going to hop from here to here. Done.
And then they go back to their world the same way.
Right.
So that throw away the idea of how can they travel through like million light years. Well, they can do this if it was a pocket universe.
And again, like, everything is a theory, right? So if you're talking about scientific proof and all that. Scientific theory. It's a theory. Hypothesis. It's still a theory. It's anything that's proven is still a theory because it's right. Gravity is still a theory. It's based on a mathematic that only a few selected people know. That you have to have like high degree of shit, and the high degree of shit is based on a school system.
Einstein has a different theory on gravity.
Right.
But no one really it wasn't as
So,
popular as
so I know it's filler, like to the normal people, and they look at this, they're like, yeah, but I've been taught in school. Yeah, so everything you've been taught in school is right. Just back in the days when I was taught that Pluto was a planet, that shit flip flop just like my penis. But I almost said vagina.
You almost
vagina flip flop.
But this whole flat Earth thing is just a theory, right? Whether it's stupid or whatever. But,
it's still a good concept to talk to.
But the thing is, what is the conspiracy behind it? The conspiracy is if it is flat, why would they lie to us as a ball? What do they have to gain out of it? And they do have something to gain out of it. First of all, they can lie about the existence of all those pocket holes if they exist. So we don't have to know about their existence, that there are other worlds right beside us. Like literally land across from us.
Right.
And second of all, they make a shitload of money from NASA.
They want to keep us contained.
To tell us that, hey, you guys want to go to Mars? Pay this much. Hey, you guys want to go to the moon? Pay this much. They're taking tax money.
If they tell us all this shit, like, and we knew about it, and we just want to go out of this whole world and go into a different world, that wouldn't be good for them because they can't profit if there's nobody there to profit of. Or enslaved. So
we're stuck in the one pocket.
It's an interesting question to look at.
And a lot of people take the Bible as a talking point because there's certain part in the Bible that's talking about how the earth is a circle and immovable.
Right.
Immovable, meaning it doesn't spin.
And the sun and the moon is the one that's
spin, which is in that picture right here.
This system, that's how it works.
Right. So it's pretty interesting, and like the fact of the matter is people die because of this shit.
And some people came up with theory that maybe our world was a ball and there is space in the universe, but because we're in the Mandela universe, we're in a program world.
There you go.
Maybe in this new world we're living in, it is flat because we're in a computer program.
No, it's interesting because, you know, people die back then when they said the earth is round, you know, they get burned at the stake and stuff. And then you know, it's weird because through religion it's flip-flop. It keeps going from flat earth to round earth. Now it's back to flat earth. So yeah, that's that. Let's go to the next one. CERN and D-Wave. This shit is real. This shit is
Whoa. Okay.
That shit was conspiracy nuts.
So you're talking about the CERN Collider.
Okay, so
Hadron Collider.
Yeah, CERN, the Large Hadron Collider. Basically, it's a particle acceleration. I don't know shit about that. All I know is they're smashing they're trying to recreate the Big Bang, like the smashing of the atoms, just to see the math and do their whatever bullshit those bullshit guys do. The thing that's conspiracy about this.
Exactly.
Why is Shiva in there? She's in the front gate of CERN.
God of death and destruction.
God of death and destruction.
And in Hindu, but somehow
it's their statue. That's their official when you walk in. So this is when you walk into the CERN. Yeah, it's right there. It's right in the dead center.
And the reason why some people said they did explain why they put that statue because they found that God exists and God. You know, the whole particle thing that they've discovered. They found how the universe works.
They didn't name it like God particle.
I know, but they found out how the universe works apparently from their research.
So a lot of people, I'm not really big into this whole 666 thing, but they said the CERN symbol does kind of looks like 666, doesn't it?
It does.
No,
yeah.
You know how when there's this thing that when you want to look at something, you're looking for it, so it's there. You know?
Yeah, you'll see.
You know, you're looking hard enough. But in the case of this CERN, it is actually there. Look at it. It is a 666.
I mean, here's one.
Oh,
whoa. Fuck! Conspiracy. Oh,
whoa! Shit. Okay.
Okay, so there's one, there's two, there's three, right?
Yep.
No, and like, see this guy right here?
No, hold on.
Okay.
So here's the crazy part. Some theorize that the whole point of CERN, the research, is so that they can try to look into other world or open portal for other world.
Yeah.
And some say that maybe the devil is the one who sent an idea, a psychic
right.
idea to, like say the devil is trapped in another world.
Yeah. So
and he wants to be free.
Right.
So he can't.
He can't free himself, but he can manipulate.
God can't free him, and he can't get out. But he can control human and let human use their free will to open a portal for him.
Right. Just give him the idea. Here's the blueprint of.
So technically, it's magic and science combined to create that. And the crazy part is I see that old man down there.
He works at CERN.
He's supposedly a scientist at CERN, and this is taken from CERN. Look at his shirt. I mean, look at the sign.
Look at the bottom one. Mandela! And he gives a thumbs up.
It's like he knows about the multi-world thing.
It's like
due to their research.
It's so blatant. It's like I don't know, man. And like it's.
And then there's that D-Wave.
So the D-Wave computer, the quantum computing company, the D-Wave computer. So that shit is a D-Wave computer. Look how big and massive it is. This is like Google own one, right?
Yeah, Google
own one.
Inside the machine itself is space temperature, which is like really, really cold. Because they have to be because it heats up really hot.
Huh. So the thing that's nutty about this is TED, right? That stupid thing where business
TED Talks.
TED Talks, yeah. So the CEO or the people who made these D-Wave, he was flat out. He's like, yeah, our computer, we can open dimension, we can go other places. That's not even a question.
Beyond, it's a quantum.
It's a quantum computer.
Beyond normal physics.
Right. So here's a rich guy saying that, and there's a bunch of rich jackasses just watching him, and they're cool about it.
It's like quantum processing, meaning like, for example, if the universe is made from ones and zeros, right? Mm-hmm. What if this computer can hack into that ones and zero and alter it? Right. When we have like 10 fingers by like 16 fingers by tomorrow, they edit the genetic code of the universe, right? So they can reprogram history.
So that's
that's a conspiracy. That's the conspiracy. But the stuff does exist. The machine.
The machine exists.
Computer, the guy that created talks about it.
He talks about it on TED, and people are just casually clapping for him. And like he's talking about nuttier shit than I am. He's talking about open portals, see what's on the other side. Let's go back in time, do all this shit. And he's like, yeah, my computer's capable of that. Just give me maybe a little less than 10 years, I can make it happen. And people's like, yay. But then like, and then like when you go talk to like normal people, they're like, you're stupid. Wear your fucking tinfoil hat. It's like, no, you don't understand. The rich is talking about this. And so CERN and D-Wave, it's a conspiracy in open plain sight. It's like technology is there.
It's there, but we don't know.
But we don't know what it does and how it's getting.
And CERN is the home of the World Wide Web. That's where it started.
There you go. Apparently, it's the home of the World Wide Web. All right, next. Time traveler. So that falls back with CERN,
right?
And so these are like these are legit actual photos of black and white back in the days. And like,
here are
some of them doesn't make sense.
Some theory, okay. The thing that doesn't make sense is the way they stand out from the rest of the crowd.
Right.
In terms of fashion, styles. Like that guy with the shades down there, but.
Right. Look at that guy with the shade who looked like Paul Rudd, aka Ant-Man.
And a hoodie.
And a hoodie. Yeah, he has a hoodie. His hand looks like he has a steady or a camera.
You can find in the library.
Yeah, that's a legit photo taken back then.
But he just stands out.
He has a sunglass. He's just a generic douchebag from Portland.
He's somehow a time traveler.
Why is he there? Like, so yeah.
The theory is that.
And this is taken, I believe, from a movie. Yeah, these two are taken from a movie.
Background.
Yeah, these are the background of the extras. Like, she's clearly holding a phone or something, some sort of device.
It could also be like a handkerchief. We can't tell.
Right.
Or it could be like Scarecrow holding a gun.
But this lady is in Charlie Chaplin, one of his movies.
Like back in the 20s?
Yeah, and she's just walking around. I saw the actual video. She's just walking around. You can see her on something talking. So it's like she's talking.
Some theories is that either these guys, like nobody pay attention to them or care of their, the way they stood out during the time where they're at, or they're invisible to the naked eye to the rest of the people they stood next to because they're time traveling. But the reason why they appear in all these photos because they knew this spot is where the camera will be taken, and they want to send back the picture to the future, see if they make it in or not, to prove that they were there at the time. They knew exactly when these photos were taken.
All right, so let's go to the nutty part of this. Let's go to the nutty part of this.
That wasn't nutty
enough. Donald J. Trump.
You know how every president has a conspiracy theory. Right?
This guy is nuts.
Donald Trump has the strangest conspiracy theory ever.
It's nuts. It's crazy. Okay. Donald Trump is a time traveler. Why did he won the election? Because he's a time traveler. He knew shit. He knew all the shit that his opponent was going to throw at him, and he used it against him. But he used it not in plain sight. He does it secretly.
So anyway, there's a time traveler in 2001 or 2000 called John Titor.
John Titor. Yeah. If you know anything about time traveler, John Titter's in the mainstream now. He's like a web.
Supposed time traveler.
Supposed time traveler.
But John Titor
Is it the code name?
Yeah.
Because this guy, Donald Trump always used like
JT. So basically, John Trump is Donald Trump uncle.
Yeah. Okay.
So a lot of people said John.
The story goes is that after Tesla died, his papers, the time traveling method, the patent and the papers, went to Donald Trump uncle.
Yeah,
and Donald Trump uncle passed it on to his nephew, which turned Trump into a time traveler. So he's been jumping all over the place.
But if the connection between Trump and his family and Tesla is there.
Yeah,
but
it's
conspiracy.
It's there.
It's a time traveling device.
Yeah.
So what's that have to do with the Tesla? What's that have to do with the DeLorean?
He created it. He's fucking time travel.
So he's Doc Brown.
Yeah. No, it sounds far fetched, but like I watch a whole a 2-hour video about it, and it goes in depth, and it's pretty realistic shit.
I was laughing my ass. I was like,
the theory is so how did this theory came to be? I mean, like who came up with the idea that he's a time traveler, right? Because it turns out that this supposed time traveler dude who posted online,
John Titor.
No, who put a tip online, who hinted that he was a time traveler and he was he knew Trump was also a time traveler and they were like working together in operation and stuff. And he said that Trump is a time traveler, he will win the presidency, but this was like a year or 6 months before the election, and he did win. So one thing is right. That
here's another thing. There's an old book, a really old book.
This is crazy.
Right? It's called Barron's Trump. What is it?
Baron Trump something adventure.
Something Underground Adventure.
Yeah,
that book.
Adventure.
Well, remember this book is actually legit. It's written in the 1800s, and Baron Trump is the son of Donald Trump, the little son.
And the story, in the story, has a continuation, which is called.
The story has a continuation, a third book called The Last President.
And the last
president is
an outsider.
He's
hated by everyone in the media, but then won the election.
and that book is written in early 1900s.
Yeah, 1800 or 1900. And then there's a group of mob who got pissed when he won. They all marched to the street and protest in front of a spot in the book that end up exactly where Trump Tower is.
And in the book, in the Last President book, one of the last president's cabinet member is some person named Pence.
So how old is this book?
1800 is the first book. 1800 is the first book, but the third book is early 1900, like 19 something.
It like followed later.
And there's a lot of weird similarity between this guy and a bunch of story about, and it's facts. It's like you can go research it yourself. It's coincidence. It's pretty cool coincidence.
It's just strange. It's just weird.
But yeah, this guy is totally a time traveler. He just
kind of looks like it.
Yeah, he looks like a modern guy. Yeah. But yeah, time travelers. I don't think it's that far fetched. I don't know why people.
Physically, according to Dr. Michio Kaku, he says physically time traveler is possible, but according to him, we haven't got there yet.
Yeah, we haven't.
How do we know that people?
But here's the thing about time traveler: if we haven't got there yet, and it's possible, that means people in the future can already do it. And if
there we go.
Can do it, they can travel back in time.
Yeah,
right. Teach the people down here.
It's not that far fetched. Only closed-minded douchebag believe it's far fetched. But to them, all right. Next, you got another one?
Yeah.
All right, let's go to Casey's conspiracy.
We're not going to do number 9 because that's a stupid DC one. So we're going to skip right past that. There's another fan theory out there, conspiracy theory, that Loki actually lost to the Avengers on purpose. For those of you that don't know, Loki is the adopted brother of Thor. Usually,
gods of mischief.
Yep, mischief, lies, all magic, all that good stuff. So in the ending of the first Thor movie, Loki falls into a black hole and seems like he's lost forever. Mm-hmm. But then all he actually did was travel, and that's when Thanos first showed up, was at the end of that movie.
Yeah.
He tells Loki that he'll let him rule the earth if he helps him find the Tesseract. Mm-hmm. And let's see. some fans didn't really understand why Loki, who's already a supreme god, would want to rule an insignificant planet like Earth. In one scene, Agent Coulson from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. says, you won't win because you lack conviction. Right. Maybe the reason why he lacks conviction is because his plan was never to conquer the Earth in the first place. At the ending of Avengers, Loki gets taken to Asgard. Everyone who watched Thor: The Dark World knows that Loki was exactly where he wanted to be.
Yep. That makes sense.
People think that he lost on purpose.
Yeah, that makes sense.
We were just talking about this
guy. So, Nikola Tesla, why is he not in the history book? Like, when I was a kid, I know
to Edison.
That's the conspiracy. Who's Edison? That's also a conspiracy. You got it
before the light bulb.
Bullshit.
All
right. So, all right.
Read Tesla's work. That's all his work.
This is all Tesla work. That's not in the history book because the history book is a bunch of bullshit.
Both of them, the
alternating current is the AC. Is what we use right now. He created light, X-rays, radio.
God created light.
Who?
I think God created light.
Well, light, not let there be light. Radio, remote control, electric motor, robotics, laser, wireless, and free energy.
That's pretty much everything.
That's everything he created.
Right.
We're using wireless right now.
So the reason why okay.
The thing is, Tesla is not really being taught in school, even though he actually made a lot of stuff that we're still using today, like lasers and X-rays.
And our smartphone right now is wired.
And alternating. And that's all his.
So AC versus DC, alternating current and direct current. So Thomas Edison thing was, and this is kind of like the HD, DVD, and Blu-ray thing. You can pick a side, right? Blu-ray, we all know won because of video games and porn. AC and DC.
Man, scroll to the left side.
Okay.
No, on the bottom of Tesla picture. He has over 300 patents and inventions still out there.
There you go.
So he invented a lot of stuff, and he should be recognized for it.
Yeah.
But he's not.
He's not.
And we know why he's not.
So, okay. All people everywhere should have free energy source. Electric power is everywhere, present in unlimited quantities, and can drive the world's machineries without the needs for coal, oil, or gas, says Nikola Tesla. Which that's what he wanted. Right. But obviously anything that's free, you can't charge money for.
And that's why he died.
That's why he died, because
he died poor.
They confiscate all his work. And
that is also the conspiracy.
Unfunded him. That's the conspiracy.
The conspiracy is right after he died, everyone go in and snatch his shit.
Yeah, everybody, including Donald Trump's uncle. Yep. Einstein was once asked how it felt to be the smartest man alive. Einstein replied was, I don't know. You'll have to ask Nikola Tesla. And that's from fucking Einstein. If Einstein invented E equals MC squared and we're taught that he's like the baddest motherfucker of the brain capacity ever bullshit, and he's saying that Nikola Tesla is smarter than him, and Nikola Tesla is not in the history book, you should question your school. But don't do that because the school will probably kick you out.
There's a reason why, though, they don't want you. We're talking they.
The
shadow people. They don't want you to know about Nikola Tesla or care about him or learn about him because the man on the right, a corner.
Right here. Hi, I'm Thomas Edison. I'm hailed as a hero, but in reality, I stole many of Nikola Tesla's ideas and even electrocuted an elephant as a part of a sales pitch. Bet your history book didn't tell you that.
That's actually true. Edison did not invent the light bulb. He actually patented it. Or repatent something that's already been made.
The thing with Edison is he's a smart man in terms of he's a great marketer.
Great businessman.
Great businessman. That's
not really an inventor.
Yeah, he steals shit from other people and makes it his and patent it. That's what he does.
So here's the crazy part.
He steals other people. He paid for other people's patents.
Yeah. That's pretty much. So here's the crazy part. So right now it's confirmed by everybody. Like, we're talking about higher up people, electric company, professor, everybody has now confirmed that Edison did not invent the light bulb. But here's the crazy part. Every kid today, even today, still being taught that he invented the light bulb. Right. And nothing has changed. Yep. Despite that confirmation.
So the DC current it's too dangerous because you can't control
DC sucks. We know this.
We know that. There we go.
We're going back to
the one thing he did do, Thomas Edison, is the electric chair. That was his invention.
That's actually his invention.
That's his invention to kill people.
Yeah. Nice.
So yeah, So Nikola Tesla, you can talk a whole hour about him. He's an interesting figure. Go read up on it.
His invention that create time machine and all that crazy stuff. So.
Right.
Didn't he marry a pigeon or something after he went crazy? That's what Big Bang Theory said.
Big Bang Theory is created by the
run by the same guy in the corner.
Yeah, they probably went to the history
DC.
book and believe everything Mr. DC said. So they're just
we don't like Mr. DC.
Dumb. D-U-M-B. You ever heard of that term before?
Nope.
Deep underground military base.
It's a thing. Deep underground military base.
All over the world.
It exists all over the world.
Know, Area 51 is one of them. And keep in mind, Area 51 was not told to the public that it exists, right?
It was hidden for 40 years.
It was hidden for
20 years.
Yeah, for all those years.
So the map that you see right there.
Until somebody has a satellite photo, and then they actually.
U.S. government underground facilities and tunnel (DUMS), deep underground military base. So that's just a map of all the connected underground network for the government. I guess it's created for.
So the conspiracy is, who made all of them, what purpose, and why, and what money do they use to fund them?
Right, because I'm pretty sure it's expensive.
And there's more being made apparently every day.
Yeah.
And they're not for just military purpose.
Look how nice it is, though. Like.
And these are just some of the surface.
There's none in Oregon and Washington.
Yeah,
there is. Yeah, that is true. Damn.
Or Idaho.
Yeah, and notice that's also why nobody cares about this side of the world.
Yeah, that's true. No, it's like, what are these made for? I know it's made for maybe during World War II nuclear possibility, so people can go down there and
the White House and the elevator that takes down to an underground base.
Yeah,
It's not too far.
It's not too far fetched. I mean,
in that X-Men movie,
right?
If it's in the X-Men movie, it's real. No, it's but the conspiracy is, like.
Remember when Area 51 came on Independence Day? Everyone said that was crazy. Well, it's real.
Right.
It's real. Okay, so there it is.
I wouldn't
restricted area.
I wouldn't be surprised at all if this is a real thing.
Yeah,
like you were saying, especially during the
Cold War.
Yeah, they gotta have somewhere to take the
presidents and all the important people.
Important,
not you and I, because we're just a bunch of jackasses.
Right.
Little did they know you guys, the smart people, the important people, and me, we use the same toilet.
I think they use a more expensive.
That's true. That's probably made from gold. So the conspiracy here is some of these tunnel actually have aliens in it, and it's networked to work in aliens.
The conspiracy, as we were talking earlier, you know how the Greys made a deal with human,
right?
And maybe some of these bases are operated by them or together with humans.
It's a joint project between the military and.
What are they doing down there? So, according to whistleblower, they said that there are a lot of human experimentation. Trying to clone, trying to replicate life. Dulce
base, for those who's into the alien conspiracy, it's a base in New Mexico, right? Yeah, it has seven level of it. Yes, we don't know, but anyways, according to the whistleblower, like level 1, and it's like an underground base, right? It goes down, so level 1 is like
the first couple levels all human. They study psychic abilities and all that stuff, but as you go deeper, it gets crazy.
So level 4, you study mind control experiment. Level 5, alien housing, that speaks for itself. Level 6, genetic experiments, and level 7, cryogenic storage for something.
Which is also called the Nightmare Hall.
Yeah,
because the whistleblower said in that area, basically creatures like gargoyles, Mothman, and Jersey Devil, which we all talked about last week, could potentially came from those experiment labs.
Yeah,
like they escape and they fly out.
So
that can explain their origin. I mean, science has proven that they can merge,
animals,
chimera.
Chimera.
So it's possible. It's not too.
It's not out there. I mean, like
it's science. It's based on science.
If you're gonna go with based on science, I mean.
But that's a lot of money that they require. So I don't know where they keep getting those money.
Taxes. That's why taxes.
Yeah.
So you're paying for Jersey Devil, basically.
So it's pretty interesting. I mean, it's something to talk about.
So the question is, who runs them and who owns them, and that's what will lead to the finale, which is next.
Okay. The deep state.
Deep state.
All right.
Everything in that control the world.
Look at
I don't know about you, but
the illusion of choice down there.
Yeah, the illusion of choice is proof that deep state or a few control the many.
So let's see how many company there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Owns up.
They own everything.
But that's the illusion of choice. you think that when you eat like a Kit Kat, for example, it's competing with like Crunch or whatever, but they're all owned by the same.
Right,
and that's in the few.
Right.
The same few.
I didn't know Nestle owned.
L'Oreal.
Yeah, that's like
the
hair product, makeup, lotion.
Yep.
So that's cool that they're making us food as well. Yeah, and like, I didn't know Kraft owned Nestea. I don't know why I didn't know that. So yeah, the illusion of choice. There you go.
So the point of that chart is to prove that why couldn't the world be ruled by a few? Why couldn't it be ruled by a few if these companies can do this?
Right.
It's kind of like the umbrella in Resident Evil. And okay.
So it's 90% right there of all media is owned by 6 companies.
That's it. 6 companies from 1983 to 2012. Now 90% of U.S. media is controlled by 6 media giants: Comcast, News Corp, Disney, Viacom, Time Warner, and CBS.
I like how Time Warner's icon is like a hypnosis thing. Yeah.
And notice they're all eyeballs. Comcast is an eyeball with a pupil.
That's true.
Disney is a sideway eyeball, a slant eyeball. Time Warner's an eyeball. CBS is clearly an eyeball.
Viacom's clearly a vagina.
Yeah, Viacom, yeah.
And see the wall behind him. That's all the shadow people.
So, do it my way or else.
You got Bill Gates in there. You got Soros. You got Bilderberg, Kissinger, Federal Reserve, CIA, FBI. Yeah, they're all. So
just to go back, the deep state is basically it's the power that be. It's the shadow government, the people who control behind the actual government.
Look at all their click down there, like
down here. Yeah. Look at all their different branches.
Right.
So these are the Bilderberg Group, which is basically a bunch of rich assholes who gets together and decide our fate. Skull and Bone
is confirmed to be in there, and he actually said he's in there, but he didn't say anything else. So
well, he did joke around and said, if I tell you what we do there, I'm gonna have to kill you.
Yeah. There's an interview that you can actually watch.
And then there's that G thing.
The Masons.
The Freemasons.
G square compass from. And I saw a building right next to our place.
Yeah, they're everywhere. The Masons temple.
There was a Mason temple up not too far from my house, but it closed for some reason.
And no, it's
and that card game, the Illuminati card game release.
You know a lot about card game.
Oh yeah, I have a ton of Steve Jackson games.
Yeah, so the Illuminati card game is a standalone game made by Steve Jackson Games in 1981 with deluxe and reprint until 1999. This was created well before the events depicted in the Twin Towers cards.
And the game depicts the 9/11.
So there's that, and then there's that, which is the Pentagon. And then most of these are coming to life, like
big media companies. Yeah,
it's a cool card to own. I'm sad that I don't own it, but it has some weird shit in there that like
for like a couple years.
Yeah. Well, once 9/11, once 9/11 came out, I'm sure
it's gone.
Yeah, you can probably still buy it on the dark web.
Yeah. So the shadow.
Oh, whoa! We had a comment. We haven't had one for like an hour.
Okay.
How did me know that hairband?
What hairband?
I think he meant Brian.
Oh, the hair brand? Because I used to.
Brand.
Oh, because I used to.
Because that's what caused his hair to fall out. GMOs.
Don't use chemicals, man. That's how I knew.
L'Oreal's all over TV, which is then connected to up here. So basically, up here controls all these because they control all the.
They control all the substance that we eat, and these guys control all the media outlet.
Right.
And again, it goes back to the.
This connects to everything we just talked about in the previous 11.
Yeah.
Like aliens, those deep underground bays. So these guys could be in charge of all those places, and the dark web itself, and CERN.
Right.
So these guys could connect to all of them.
The deep state has been going around for a while, but now it's actually in the main.
Right. Thanks to Donald Trump, the deep state is out in the open because they hate his ass. Like his ass is in their way. They don't understand why he won because there's this thing called a silent majority.
He's like a roadblock for the new world.
Right. They can't take over the world.
Or the global one world government, but Donald Trump's like more contained, and he wants
the motherfucker's a time travel. What are they gonna do? Assassinate him? You already know that shit.
Well,
so
you know how he came up with this whole America First policy thing? That alone stood against the New World Order agenda to merge the whole world together.
Right.
The whole merging the whole world together thing is good.
They're doing it with all these companies.
Right.
You can see. Look at that chart. 1980, 83? 90% of U.S. media was owned by 50 companies.
Yeah.
And look at now, 6.
It's been bought by down to 6. So 1983, 90% of the U.S. media was owned by 50 companies, and then in 2012, 90% of it now is just owned by 6. Let's see, the shadow government, Council for Foreign Relations, which CFR, which I work with.
Yeah, the 49 CFR and all that good stuff.
Yep, and they make all the rules. But if you go read, those are all those people, Soros and stuff, Bilderberg. Most of the Bilderberg name, like these asshole who gets together and jack off or whatever the fuck rich people do and make rules. Bohemian Grove. Bohemian Grove.
That's where rich people go on a year.
Yeah, and anybody that goes there become big later on. So the Council for Foreign Relations is just a bunch of rich douchebag coming up with rules that we have to obey by.
Their meeting is real. We can actually see their meeting, but what goes down behind the meeting is what we don't know.
So the round table chart is pretty cool. The Council is in America, the United Nations, Europe, U.S., Global is the Bilderberg Group, Club of Rome is the Environment something, Royal Institute of International Affairs, and the Trilateral Commission is the American, Europe, and Japan. So those are pretty much your shadow government right there. And they're not even shadow, they're in plain sight. Most people don't even know what CFR is. They just know that, hey, if there's a CFR regulation, you have to follow by it because that's part of the law.
See, and because there's 90% of all media is owned by them, so everything we are being taught in school, on TV, like how the Earth is a ball and all that NASA stuff, is all connected to those individuals. And if those individuals agree with each other to lie to us, it wouldn't be hard.
Right.
To lie to us.
It's like that movie District 9 where the guy is innocent and they show a picture of him having sex with an alien. And even his wife said, how could you do that? It's the same concept. Like, if the government comes after you and to show you on CNN and you're butt plugging a dog's ass or something, and then they're like, this guy got to go. He's a bad man. But I didn't do that. It's just bad Photoshop.
Like, back in the day, cigarette was sold as a safe product.
Right.
Back in the day, until like a couple of years later.
And then
until they
same with
until like independent research
before they
found out that
they didn't have to go through the whole hardcore labeling. And
right. And what's weird and crazy about all this is all this information right here between the round table, the shadow government, all these people, it's online. Like, you can go and see who's in charge of the CFR. Go look for yourself, and you'll be surprised who's in charge of the CFR, because they're mostly douchebags and rich old men.
They pretty much made it public. It's not like,
they're made it public, but nobody give a shit about it.
That they're a part of it.
It's because they're rich. They can do whatever. That's why I say if you're rich, you have a good life.
Every president is a member of one of these society, like the Freemason or the Skull and Bone, except for 2 presidents, and one of them is Donald Trump. So
Who's the other one?
Donald Trump is not a part of.
Who's the other one?
The other one, I forgot his name, but.
There you go. Facts are facts. Go do your research. You got something? You got something, Casey?
No. You can still buy that Illuminati game for for $34.95.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, and you see how Bill Gates on that wall behind Uncle Sam? Because Bill Gates is a part of Monsanto. He's all about that Monsanto.
Yeah, he's
And why? I mean, like, after he left Microsoft, where else do you think he went? I mean, like, how else does he obtain all
He's
that
all
money?
about nature and...
But people say he's a nice guy because all that donation he made.
Right, but then again,
get out of that donation?
I don't understand why people think rich people donating is such an awesome thing, because in the end, they get tax refund back on it anyway, so what does it matter? So yeah, that closed out our conspiracy. Anything to add? I mean, most of it is far out there, but again,
I don't think it's as far out there as a lot of people want you to think it is.
If it's based in the realm of science and whatever, and it's in your face, and you can go search and on record and see it for yourself, then it's not a conspiracy. It's only conspiracy to lazy ass people who don't want to do the research.
Don't want to think.
Want to think for themselves, right?
We presented 12, right?
We presented 12.
The 11 that we presented prior to this, could be all manipulated and controlled by these guys.
Yeah, it's all linked by
them. At the end of the day, these guys are in control.
Right. Like.
So they can tell you what's real and what's not.
Right.
Based on like for example, the crop circle. How do we know they don't know anything about that?
Yeah,
that kind of looks like a crop circle.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, that one.
Oh, by the way, this is also where the whole Hydra and all that Winter Soldier conspiracy.
Right. That's why I think that's why I love Winter Soldier so much, because it has that whole conspiracy element to it.
They brought in Operation Paperclip, which was a real conspiracy.
Yeah. That's true. They did brought that in.
And there's also the whole bringing a Nazi scientist in, and he infiltrate and then secretly implant Hydra scheme inside.
That's true.
It's the whole Nazi or
Because after World War II, we did brought NASA scientists,
200
plus scientists
over to, and the leader, Von Braun, that created
Von
NASA,
Braun is a smart asshole, man.
That started NASA, but he was like directly under Hitler.
Yeah.
Right.
So they're currently in charge today, and we're supposed to trust them, right? We're supposed to trust what they tell us. So this all leads back to the whole Tesla as well. Like, these guys don't want Tesla to succeed because then they would not profit or control electricity.
That's why everything is split into two sides. You know, there's Democrat, Republic, there's douchebag, there's non-douchebags, there's...
the Democrat and Republic just play their role as enemies, but they're actually
the same.
They're scripted opposition.
It's to keep us busy, to keep us not questioning. Yeah. And again, it goes back. It goes back to my hate for school, because I don't think 12 years of school and then after that another 4 years. That's like however many lives, and then you work until you're fucking 70, and then you die and you never get to use your retirement. So basically, your whole goal of living is just to follow orders. Like, I know I've questioned school before and I've gotten in trouble. I threatened to blow up a school, which you shouldn't on during graduation day, because there's this iffy thing where they might not let you graduate. I did that, and I got in trouble.
Well, duh. I mean, that's before that was even going on all the time.
Dude.
But you shouldn't probably threaten to blow things up.
No, I was pissed, because every time I get bullied by this sport guy, this jock guy, you know, typical nerd storyline, right?
Right.
And I fought back, not with fists, I fought back with questioning authority, and I said, how come he gets away with this and that? And I presented the proof, and they're like, he's fine, you're not. I'm like, I didn't do anything wrong. He's the one who approached me with the threat. So I said, so one day I just kind of freaked out, and I threw everything on the ground. He and his girlfriend side by side. I look him straight in the eye, I'm like, you're a fucking asshole. You know I'm smarter than you. I can create bomb and I can blow up the shit out of this school and you will die. Your girlfriend will die. Everybody you love will fucking die, right? Motherfucker got scared, ran to the principal and got my ass in trouble. I went, cop came, handcuffed me and interviewed me, and they said, we're going to go to your house and you have bomb or anything. I explained my situation to him. I'm like, first of all, you jackasses didn't listen to me. This shit wouldn't happen if you didn't listen to me. Why is it always one-sided?
I did listen to you.
I present it to the cop. I didn't present it to the principal because he was a jackass. Because
basically,
the cop listened to me and he's like, no, that's a logical reason why you said what you said. And I believe that you don't have anything. I was like, I don't have anything. Look at my grade. I'm a good student. I've never done anything wrong. I said that because I'm pissed off society and school and nobody backed me up. So are you going to back me up or are you going to go on their side? And the cops like, yeah, that's legit. And they let me go and I graduated.
Nice.
Basically, the system breeds psychos. And the reason why the system creates crazy people is because the system is created by crazy people.
Right.
It's run by crazy people. They said that people are usually a reflection of their leader. So if the leaders are a bunch of those guys,
part of the New World Order agenda is divide and
conquer. So my final closing statement is, it sucks because like in school, at work, you're taught that you can present anything, you know, open door policy at work. They call it open door policy. You can present your ideas. We'll listen to you. But that's a bunch of lie, because every time you go against their system or their rules, they'll write you up. They'll suspend you. They'll fire you on the spot. I mean, that light went off because fucking conspiracy. Whoa, I never noticed that light went off.
I did. It's so that you can see the back screen better.
Oh. Dude, drop the mic on him. You know, Twan, seriously, dude. Like, I am so tired of society telling me what to do and what to wear and, like, whatever. I say, if you want to fuck a bitch, go fuck a bitch. I say, whatever you want to do, just do it. Just don't hurt other people. Don't be like me. I get to the point of where I'm so pissed off at the world where I just want to... All I want is the world to end because there's no way of fixing this. That's true. It did. It did fucking end, but then the government keep us alive. Why? So they can control us. Fucking bullshit, man.
They hit the reset switch and they spell Oscar Mayer.
No, that's what it is, man.
Speaking of which, that USA that Uncle Sam had.
Yeah. It's wrong.
Because the Mandela effect, that stripe.
He doesn't have a stripe. It's just white now, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that's clearly wrong. No, you should question, like, the way I work now and why people ask why I'm not a boss and stuff is because I see the politics behind it. And I know the type of person I am. Deep down in my soul, I can't trade my integrity for them. Like, yeah, I can make more money, but then how many people do I have to step over? How many people do I have to lie and cheat to get to where I'm at? I'd rather just be a nobody who's just sitting on my own chair. Basically, I'm in the whole situation where I know I'm being controlled, but there's nothing I can do about it. So I play along with the system, but at the same time, I'm not going with their goal. Like, people always push me to become leads and whatever. I don't want to do that because that's not who I am. I mean, if there's a good work environment where it, create good employee to be at the top and people is invested in your time and money, then that's good. But I don't like to work for a company or any place to where it's all about the money and it's all about the politics of who you hang out with. So I'd rather be a no one than to trade my friends or whatever. Like, I wouldn't go over your head. I wouldn't be like, yeah, Casey's a jackass, now make me a lead. But that's what you got to do. That's just the real world.
Right.
And that happens.
Does anybody from your work besides
I don't give a fuck.
So, like, we used to work together, and we were told not to hang out because we were bad influences on each other or whatever.
There's many people saying we shouldn't hang out.
Even in that situation,
you're trying to
control who you can hang out with,
right?
And it makes you look bad if you're hanging out with this person or whatever. And it's like, whatever.
Yeah. In the end, I do what I do. I still have a job.
I have a job. I have a better paying job.
I respect you for leaving because that's a ballsy move. And if my ass weren't so lazy, I'd probably leave too. And I'm not afraid. I say that openly all the time at work. It's just the only reason why I'm still where I'm at is because my ass is too lazy to find a new job. Right. I've never created a resume in my life. Every job I ever have, I just walk in and got it. So,
nice.
Yeah, that's that. Anything you want to say before we close? Sorry, I talk a lot.
Nope, I think we're good. So, if we're still here next week, because we haven't been shut down.
That's true.
We'll see.
Don't get too big.
Yeah. This will be the one that goes viral. And we'll all end up dead by next week or something. But anyways, just keep watching. Thanks for hanging out with us for
I appreciate it. I hope you guys learned some new stuff that you haven't learned, or at least get you intrigued a little bit to do your own research, and you'll find out there's a whole mess of other shit out there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is just 12 of it.
Yep.
All right.
Have a good weekend, everybody.
Have a good weekend, everybody. Take it easy.